In this video, I will share 2 skips for a quick run down the mountain. The first method is my own discovery. The beginning of the route is quite standard. Any truck will work. But currently, the Atlas is the most profitable due to its high capacity, so I'm using it. Just in case, my Atlas tune in the workshop is number 103711. But you can also use cheap Gwangjin or anything else. You need to drive to this pole, then leave the route and drive onto the grass. I do this on the right because there is a barely noticeable dip in the ground to the left of the pole that the truck can hit, which can damage the engine. Drive to the edge of the cliff and turn left. Important, before you jump, always check the map for players below to avoid crashing into them. If the path is clear, then drive off the mountain in reverse. Using reverse is necessary to minimize damage to the engine. In this case, only the radiator was damaged, which doesn't affect the truck's performance. However, sometimes you can get lucky and only the body gets damaged. In my case, I had to use the teleport, which cost me 2,482 coins. But in rare cases, the truck will land on its wheels and you won't need to teleport at all. On unsuccessful attempts, the teleport option might not appear. In that case, try to get out of the truck, run a short distance down the road, and get back in. Most of the time, the teleport option will then appear. If that doesn't work, you'll have to teleport back to the mountain top and try the jump again. The teleport will cost about 8,000, but it's still worth it. The second attempt is usually successful. The rest of the route is standard. A regular run down the mountain takes about 15 minutes, but with a jump skip you can reduce the time to 8.5 minutes. When you reach the destination, don't forget to take the contract. To maximize your profit, don't unload all your cargo at once. Instead, use the control panel to manually unload it in parts. To do this, press Tab and click Raise Bed. As soon as you've unloaded the required amount for the contract, lower the bed and then take a new contract. The 5-unit contracts are the most profitable. For a combination of 10 5 units, you get 63,556 coins. But for 3 by 5 unit contracts, you get 66,000 coins. It's a bit trickier and requires some practice, but it gives you an extra 2,500 coins profit. In this case, I made around 133,000 coins. After accounting for towing and repair costs, my net profit came out to over 129,000 coins in less than 9 minutes. The second method is actively used by the community and involves jumping near the loading zone. You need to get a good run up down the mountain, jump onto a specific rock ahead, and then jump off it to continue your route. If you are very lucky to do everything right on the first try, land on the wheels, and avoid serious engine damage, you can reach the warehouse in just 3.5 minutes. But there are 3 things to consider. First, in reality, successfully climbing that first mountain isn't so easy, and it will take many attempts to master the skill. I've watched players try to use this skip, and most of them fail. My attempts to conquer the first mountain with 50 tons of iron on Atlas were not successful. Though I'm sure the Motortown pros will probably make a video tutorial on how to do it right. Second, the jump off the mountain is a bit luck-based. If you manage to land on the road, then you're good. If not, you'll have to teleport back to the mountain and start all over again. Or use an expensive rotator, which, first of all, isn't very beginner-friendly, and second, flipping the truck can waste a lot of time. Third, engine and radiator damage. Your truck can take damage while attempting the jump up the mountain. Sometimes the engine gets damaged so badly that you can't even make it up the first climb, forcing you to take the standard route with a constantly overheating engine and loss of power. And you'll definitely take damage on the big jump down, which will also slow you down for the rest of the run. However, if you master this skip enough to achieve results on the first try, as player Slide Zone demonstrated on his stream on Twitch, you can reach the steel mill in 8 minutes and avoid all the winding mountain roads. Which method to use is up to you. Good luck with your deliveries.